One after the other. Trucks continue to line up on a major border crossing between Canada and the U.S. As of this morning, protesters are making it increasingly challenged to cross the Ambassador Bridge. The protesters are part of a larger movement in Canada to protest a government mandate placed on truckers. Supporters have convoyed across Canada and nearly shut down its capital city, all in a demand to the government to drop the mandate.
The governments need to work together and resolve this with the protesters, whether it is I'm not going to suggest what the solutions look like, but they got to clear the path so that commerce can flow.
Today, Governor Gretchen Whitmer telling the Canadian government to take all of the necessary and appropriate steps to reopen the bridge, but she stopped short of saying exactly how to resolve the dispute.
The fact of the matter is, this is compromising and jeopardizing many jobs in the state of Michigan.
Today, auto plants sending workers in Lansing and Detroit home because of the closure-induced supply shortage. Should that not get resolved in the border rapidly? What's the plan to make sure that we're able to keep these plants open and be able to get the supplies that need to get through?
We're pulling out all the stops. I know that General Motors and Ford are looking at alternative routes for getting some supplies in, but there's nothing that can even it out, right?
Automakers like GM have begun chartering flights with auto parts from Canada into Michigan. Some American Republicans have weighed in support of the anti-vax mandate truckers, including State Representative David Martin.
We can simply end the whole protest by dropping the mandates, the vaccine mandates at the borders.
Martin urging the protest to be ended without conflict.
It's not the protesters' fault. They are not burning down Ottawa. They're not burning down Sarnia. They're not burning down Windsor. They're making a peaceful statement with their liberties and freedoms.
A man took his business out of Kalamazoo, then took an ad out in the local paper. The headline, Why I Quit Kalamazoo. I took this ad along with some questions to city officials today about being publicly called out in the ad, and they declined to talk to me on camera. Printed in black and white, the newspaper ad says the city of Kalamazoo does not allow business to grow.
We wanted to be an example, like, hey, let's be vocal. I'm going to be vocal about this. Hopefully this inspires other people to be vocal too.
Joshua Garza was ready to move into a spot in downtown Kalamazoo. He was going to set up a satellite office for his marketing company, Outer Slant Media. Garza tells me moving pods arrived in a parking space near his office before he got to Kalamazoo. A private parking company started giving him a tough time about the pods, he says. Garza says he asked city officials for help. Frustrated, he didn't just move his pod from in front of the Greenleaf Marketing building. Garza axed his plans to bring a new business to Kalamazoo. Then he bought an ad in the local paper saying, vacant lots line in Michigan Avenue, vacant apartment, and the only new businesses popping up are restaurants, but no pro-tech businesses. That's why I'm quitting Kalamazoo. I'm relocating to a place that takes its business owners seriously. Garza would not be the first business owner to express frustration with city leaders. In January, city leaders announced they would not renew a contract with Kalamazoo's downtown partnership. The partnership was supposed to help in organizing events that would bring people and businesses downtown. Adrian Merkling says leaders have never delivered on those promises.
So many great ideas and great suggestions, especially for restaurant and retail districts, and it doesn't really seem like they followed through with any of those recommendations.
City Manager Jeff Chamberlain telling me that the city makes short-term parking accommodations when someone is moving. He says the city manager's office informed the parking company to let him leave his pods there.
I work in a digital landscape. I don't need a brick and mortar. I can work from home and do my business there. Should that be a reason that I get treated differently than any other business?
Garza ended up relocating his satellite office to Florida. He says he will consider West Michigan in the future. Again, I did reach out to the city for an on-camera interview, but they did not want to talk. Chamberlain tells me that the city will continue to meet with business owners about what can change downtown. However, most of the business owners say they just want transparency from the city.
Selfies taken during a party. Police say that's what helped them identify a Kalamazoo teenager accused of raping a woman at gunpoint. We first told you last night that a 17-year-old is facing charges in the rape of a Western Michigan University student.
Police say the sexual assault happened during a home invasion at the woman's apartment in October. Prosecutors are charging 17-year-old Montel Parker as an adult. That's why we are able to identify him.
Yeah, a 16-year-old has also been charged in the case, but as a juvenile. Our Mike Kravsik joins us from the Fraternity Village area, just off the campus of WMU in Kalamazoo, to tell us, Mike, how a dropped cell phone actually led to these arrests.
Yes, Andy and Erica, and police say they were able to determine the 3 suspects in this case were taking selfies at a garage party at an apartment here on Fraternity Village Drive. Investigators say about 90 minutes later, those same 3 suspects broke into that woman's apartment just hundreds of yards away before sexually assaulting her, then stealing her car. That's when the 3 suspects ran off before police say one of them dropped their cell phone. Investigators say a 16-year-old boy broke into a college student's apartment before raping her at gunpoint, then robbing her. Now 17 Montel Parker faces 3 felonies: first-degree criminal sexual conduct, home invasion, and armed robbery. Kalamazoo County prosecutors say DNA samples link Parker to the rape. Investigators also say he wasn't alone. According to court documents, 2 other teens were with him at the time of the home invasion and sexual assault at the Bronco Club apartments in October. Police say 1 has been arrested, a 16-year-old who has been charged as a juvenile. Investigators identified Parker through videos and selfies found on a cell phone in the victim's stolen car. Detectives say it broke down during the police chase before the 3 suspects ran away. Detectives say Facebook messages sent days later show Parker and the 2 other teens discussing news articles about the police chase and the victim's stolen vehicle. The WMU student told detectives she was home alone when the suspects broke in. Police say Parker sexually assaulted the 20-year-old woman while holding her at gunpoint. Investigators say none of the 3 suspects knew the woman.